Welcome to Books and Besties, the virtual book fair. Share this link with others and get ready for something awesome. Books and Besties, the virtual book fair.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone it is for you. Welcome to today's episode of Books and Besties, the virtual book fair. I'm really excited to be here. I'm your co-host, Dr. Angie BEE, and shout out to Dr. Rita Renee. She says it's great being here on this beautiful Saturday morning. It sure is a beautiful Saturday morning, so we don't want to waste it. We want to get right into some special things. First of all, as you can see, I got Atlas, the wonder dog, in the studio with me today. He was barking at a lizard or a squirrel or something. So hopefully he's all right this morning. And I hope that you are all right too. It's a lot going on in the world. And if we did not have some sort of light to illuminate our path, if we didn't have something optimistic and something positive in our lives, the things that are going on in today's world could actually get to us. Yes, it could. I do have a co-host on the show, and she is on the road, so we will bring her on when she gets in and settled. And that's why Atlas is here with me. He's my interim co-host. Oh, well, looks like he's about to take a nap, so forget it. Just forget it. We just gonna wait on Avalon to join us. Just gonna wait. I wanted to inform some and announce to others that this is September, and that means it is Alopecia Awareness Month. And for me, as an alopecian and an advocate spreading awareness and acceptance, I am all natural today. No eyebrows, no eyelashes, no mascara. I even just got on some little chapstick on my lips because I want people to understand that you are fearfully and wonderfully made according to the Bible. And that means you don't have to get all dolled up, get all dressed up. I mean, it is a whole lot of fun. I mean, I love my nails. I love my jewelry. I love my fancy church hats. Ooh, I got one around here somewhere. I have to see if somebody can grab it for me. I do love all that, but don't become a slave to it. Don't feel like you can't go out in public without a full face. Don't feel like you can't go live around the world without a full face. It's clean, it's moisturized, it's got some sunscreen on it. This is what the Lord gave me, and this is the day the Lord has made. So we're rejoicing and we're glad about it, and I'm glad about my all natural self. So in today's episode, you're going to hear a lot about my philanthropic effort to spread awareness and acceptance. You're going to hear a lot about the Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar coming up September 20th in St. Mary's, Georgia. It is just north of Jacksonville, Florida, just across the border. And we would love for you to join us. We would love for you to stop by and shop with our vendors or purchase a couple of raffle tickets in the 50/50 drawing. We'd love for you to meet the models that are alopecians just like me that are coming in from all across the country. We'd love for you to meet them and encourage them as they strut the blue carpet. We would love for you to be a part of that. And so while I'm talking about it, I might as well play this video so that you'll know what I'm talking about. You are cordially invited. You are cordially invited to join us for the 9th annual Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar and Weekend Retreat. It takes place Friday, September 19th through Sunday, September 21st, 2025, in historic Camden County, Georgia. Models from all across the country will be participating in the Beauty Bazaar fashion show. When you arrive, you can shop with vendors, network with entrepreneurs, and have a truly good time. For more information, call 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519. Spreading alopecia awareness and acceptance, this weekend retreat is a fundraiser for the National Alopecia Areata Foundation. Eden, as intended, is an online, all-natural beauty products business. We currently sell products for the skin and hair that promote a healthy, natural way to nourish the body and foster extreme hair growth. At Eden, as intended, our mission is to create, promote, and sell herbal products that support the well-being of the total body with maximum results, ushering the body back to natural remedies just as it was intended. Specialized products can be made per request for more serious issues like alopecia, eczema, etc. Search for Eden as intended. Call 904-356-3502. Eden as intended. Living with anxiety and depression can feel like you're drowning. Come join a tribe that will help you press through parenthood and life. maternalmattersfavored.org, mmfavored.org. We are an honored supporter of Maternal Matters Favored. Every May, Mother's Day weekend, we bring our 24-hour fundraiser broadcast to raise funds for Maternal Matters Favored. And so put that weekend on your calendar. I know you may have things you got to do because it's Mother's Day weekend, but you won't be busy the whole weekend. You can log on and watch and make a donation, see the live entertainment that we have, learn about the statistics, learn the facts, and find out how you can help somebody else. So just kind of keep that in mind. We love to support our local nonprofits. Now, we talked about Alopecia Awareness Month. This is also Deaf Awareness Month. And I do encourage, well, let me tell you a story about my eldest daughter. She went to, I think it was middle school with a deaf student. And since then, just fell in love with ASL, American Sign Language. She will still try to throw some fingers at me every now and then. Not only did she learn it, but she taught it to her sister. So there were times they were sitting at the dinner table just signing away, just probably talking about how somebody in the house needed to learn how to cook because I was poisoning them with my burnt food. So keep in mind that American Sign Language is absolutely another language if you want to become bilingual. That's a good thing to think about. And you'd be able to support someone who may find themselves without an interpreter. It's just really, really an important thing to think about. I just got back from a week with Publish and Promote. Publish and Promote had their annual Right Place to Write writing retreat, the Right Place to Write retreat in beautiful Costa Rica. And it was beautiful to be there and experience the mountains and the jungles and the beach and everything. But I did feel a little off. Maybe it's because I'm an American. I did feel just a little off knowing that English was not the preferred language where we were. There were some English speaking people, but especially when it came to money exchanging and things like that, it was refreshing to have someone with us that was fluent in Spanish. And so keep that in mind for American Sign Language. I understand it is one of the easiest languages to learn. And shout out to those that are deaf and hard of hearing. We recognize you during National Deaf Awareness Month. And on top of all that, September is also Sickle Cell Awareness Month. So we give kudos to the Levi Long Sickle Cell Association in Florida, covering 3 or 4 counties, acting as an advocate for those with sickle cell and teaching people how to assist those with sickle cell. And so Alopecia Awareness Month, Deaf Awareness Month, and Sickle Cell Awareness Month. September is a busy month, but I'm honored to have all representatives from all 3 categories joining us at the 9th annual Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar, September 20th in St. Mary's, Georgia. So, Dr. Gabriel has decided to join us this morning. Thank you, Dr. Gabriel. I appreciate seeing you. I'm going to bring you in just a minute. We just have a lot of information to share today. So, let me inform you about DFC Market. And as soon as we come back, we'll have Dr. Gabriel on. Okay? The following is a testimony from dfcmarket.com.
What is my name? My name is Michael Douglas Scott. I've had chronic pain for the past 15 years. As I age, I get more pains. I have degenerative arthritis. I have basically 14 different medications, and they range from sleep apnea, trazodone, to ibuprofen, to meloxicam, to gabapentin, these are pain medications, about 6 different pain medications, medications to go to sleep. And I learned about the immune support through Ernest Warren. He's a real good friend of mine. Do something, and he wanted to know how it made me feel. But it made me feel like a young boy again, you know. And it caused me to be feeling full of life, full of energy. When I took the super immune support, I saw results the second day. Several friends who really wonder what the heck's gotten into me, because I'm jumping all over the place. I catch the bus and the train. I drive my van to the train station and use the stairs. And every chance, all day I'm jumping up and down and doing push-ups, not push off the walls, jumping jacks, just full of energy. I've lost 25 pounds since December the 5th. I want to tell the world. I'll stand on the mountaintop and tell the world how good this stuff is. It's on me. It takes care of me. My name is Michael D. Scott, and I take super immune support beta-glucan, and I think you should too.
Visit www.dfcmarket.com for more information. dfcmarket.com. I got my little bottle of super immune support, and I definitely appreciate. I just finished off my smash tea for women, and I'm feeling good about it. So we're excited about introducing you to dfcmarket.com. All right, Dr. Gabriel, come on in the studio with me, dear, and tell everybody who you are, where you live, and why you're on the show today.
Who I am Dr. Elisa Gabriel. I'm so happy to meet you, Dr. Angie BEE. Uh, it's a pleasure and an honor. Where I live, I am in the New York area, New York, New Jersey. I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, born and raised. And I got here by way of author Avalon.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
So she invited me several weeks ago, and she's a wonderful woman, and I
Yes,
trust
she.
her insight and guidance. And she said, "You have to come on the show." And so I said, "Yes, of course I will."
Oh, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Avalon is my co host, and she is on the road right now. She may be able to join us before the show is over, but she just wants everybody to know that she appreciates you for accepting the invitation because
Yes.
we get to really talk to an eclectic tribe of folks.
Yes. Well,
So,
I'm so happy to be here, and I appreciate your time and the consideration in having me
absolutely. Absolutely. So, tell us what you're most excited about today.
today. You know, every morning when I wake up, I get another chance to get it right.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
that's pretty exciting. You know,
It
we
is.
take the gift of life for granted, and it is a gift that comes each and every day. So today I am excited. I get to experience the gift. I get to meet new people like you. I get to share my testimony with your audience, and I'll start there. I'm happy about
Oh,
that.
that
Yeah.
is wonderful. That is
Mhm.
wonderful. So I always like to ask people what keeps you busy during the day. There's like
Mhm.
people that have 9 to 5, people that have 5 to 9s.
Yeah.
So what keeps you busy during the day?
During the day. So I have both a 9 to 5 and a 5 to 9. So
Oh my
very
goodness.
busy throughout the day. Just to give you a brief bit of my history, and it's like a crescendo because each year it just gets better and better. But in this time in my life, I am serving as an author and a publisher of Peace in the Storm Publishing. I am also a college professor at an HBCU. And I'm
Wow.
also a doctor of naturopathy, so I get to help our community by fostering in a new way of thinking about health and wellness in a natural way.
Oh wow.
And so I think right now that's enough.
That
It's enough
is.
to keep me going. Yeah.
That is enough. So tell us
Yeah.
about the HBCU and
Yeah.
what you do there.
Yeah, so this semester I have 30 students and they are so bright, and I'm looking forward to at least one of them really challenging me and putting me back on my heels so I can grow. I am teaching intro to critical thinking. And so
Oh,
I usually flip-flop each semester. It's like philosophy and critical thinking or intro to psychology. And so I have a 30 freshmen and sophomore college students, and it's been fun. We just started last Monday was the beginning of our fall semester.
absolutely. Oh,
Mhm.
that sounds amazing to
Yes.
be on a campus and to really be able to interact with students. That is a blessing.
Yes, it is.
That's a blessing. Listen, I want to put your contact information up on the screen
Mhm.
so that our viewers will know how to reach you.
Yeah.
What is a good contact info? A website or
Mhm.
an email? What's good for you?
The website should lead you to all things social media. So it's www.elisa, ELISSA Gabrielle.com. And then if you type in Elisa Gabrielle, it'll point you to my Facebook and LinkedIn and TikTok and everywhere that I'm active on
Okay.
social media. Yeah.
Everywhere you are. I
Yeah.
got it. I got it. Okay, so you said something about publishing, and I want to hear
Mhm.
about the books. I'm just all in your
Mhm.
business. I just
That's okay.
what came first, the authorship or the publishing?
You know, I became an author first at the age of 8. And so that's quite some time ago. And then came to publishing by way of rejection.
Mm,
So I had submitted my work to so many publishers and they turned me down left and right. I could probably wallpaper this office with the amount of rejections I received. But given my character and the way God wonderfully designed me, I
mhm,
don't take no for an answer. It's like, okay, you
mhm,
don't want me, then I'm going to empower myself to do this, right? And so I've been a publisher. This is our 20th year at Peace in the Storm Publishing. I've
Wow.
ushered in the careers of probably 35 authors who may have been in the same boat as me all those years ago where they had been rejected. So I served as an envoy to make dreams come true in that capacity. And
Wonderful.
yeah, it's been a journey, and I'm so excited about that. Actually, this year, next month, is the 20th anniversary, and I'm being honored at the African American Literary Awards for the 20 years. Yep.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank
Oh,
you.
what a beautiful testimony. Oh,
Mhm.
that's wonderful. 20
Yes.
years of helping others to share their story. That's
Abs-
important.
Yeah,
That is important. Hmm.
absolutely. It's been an honor to have people trust me with their words.
Hmm. 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 That is beautiful. My agency is Angie BEE Productions, and we specialize in producing commercials and book trailers and audiobooks. So I like to partner with publishers so that our service can be available for your clients as well. We like to bring their words to our ears, is what we like to
Yes.
say.
No, I understand that. I received that.
Yeah, yeah. So we will definitely be in touch to see if there's anything we could do to partner along the way. That is great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if someone wanted you to publish their book, what does that look like? What does that feel like?
Mhm.
Are you completely publish, or you
Mhm.
assist them with self-publishing?
Yeah.
Give us a little more.
Well, we're a traditional micropress, so I do offer self-publishing services. But if someone solicited me to publish their book, it had to be a good book or the potential to be a good book. But I'd have to sense that they had good character because I can take a C-rated book and make it an A, but I can't take an F-rated character and make you exceptional. So you're going to be a memory before you be a problem to me. But if you have good character and we have energy and it's in alignment, you know, we have to do things that are in alignment with who we are. Then I'm excited to work with new authors in particular. Um, you know, when we're new, we sort of let people get away with things that they shouldn't. So
Hmm.
I like working with new authors because we're built on integrity here, and they'll
Yeah.
learn the ropes in a meaningful way before they branch out.
Yes.
So yeah, if
Yes.
it's a good book, I'm
Yes.
interested. If it's a mediocre book and you're a good person and you're gonna hustle and all those things that come with publishing, then yes, I'll take a look at that as well. So to answer your question, we're a traditional small press, micro press publisher. I do offer self-publishing services and coaching. So you can keep that autonomy and your freedom in your publishing. So we do both.
Wonderful. That is a blessing. That is a blessing.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got to take one quick break and play
Okay.
a video. And as soon as we get back, I want to hear all about your book. Want to hear all about it.
Okay.
Hey, what's good, man? It's your boy T Horn. I'm that new breed. And see what I am? It's something the world has never seen. And something the fake Christian can only dream. I'm that new breed. Yeah. Introduce y'all to something new. Not a stereotype. I'm that new breed. I'm rebuilt. Remade. Not fake. I'm that new breed. New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. I'm that new breed.
If you or someone you know needs help coping with depression, anxiety, or PTSD, overcoming low self-esteem, or managing major life transitions, we invite you to schedule a free consultation call for telehealth clients. Shekinah Downs, licensed clinical social worker, is now accepting new telehealth clients. In the office, too. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386 385 4483. That's 386 385 4483 in the brand new Daytona Beach office as well. 50 to 60-minute individual therapy sessions and a variety of insurance plans are accepted. Couples therapy and coaching is coming soon. We invite you to log on to cjaqis.com. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483. We have been talking about Alopecia Awareness Month. I am a proud alopecian. Alopecia is when your body rejects your hair or refuses to grow hair, and it is considered an autoimmune disease. We like to educate and advocate acceptance. We like to look at it as a flower opening. Sometimes we're in this tight little bud covered with wigs and hair pieces and scarves and hats. But then once we begin to open up and blossom, we've discovered that it's okay to do your podcast this morning with no makeup on. It's okay to go out in public without something covering your head other than sunscreen. You gotta put some sunscreen up there. Got to. And so we are excited about those that are excited about supporting us, Alopecia Awareness Month. Our next fundraiser takes place on the 20th of September in St. Mary's, Georgia. And you'll hear more about that later on. But right now, I want to remind you that the YEP program is enrolling for this semester. YEP is Youth Entrepreneur Author Program. It's where we do 2 or 3 virtual classrooms with students after school hours with students to help bring out their story that may be within them. We're also now working with junior graphic artists and designers to get the book covers completed. And so if you know a student that just has a story or some creativity about them, please send an email to yepimanauthor@gmail.com. You can also find Yep, I'm an Author on Facebook to learn more about it. It is a free program. We do have sponsors that cover the costs of the children getting their story out, and it becomes an anthology with a collection of stories that we like to bring to each and every one of you. All right, it's time to learn about Doc's book. So we're excited to have you back. Thank you for being here. Tell us about your book.
Well, I have several. So I just released this novel, Deja Vu. Yeah,
Oh,
it's been nominated for Fiction Book of the Year at the African American Literary Awards.
nice.
And it just came out with recorded books as an audio book. So really excited about that. It has some really favorable reviews, so I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I hadn't released a romance novel in quite some time, and
Good
then I
for
also
you.
write as Dr. Elisa, and so this is The Power of No, and that is the latest book, the first in the Power series,
Mm.
and so that just released a couple months ago as well. So those are the two that are the most new for me.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
What do you tell us how you overcome a writer's block? You
Mhm.
said you hadn't done a romance novel in a while, not to say that it was because of writer's block, but tell me about some of the issues you may have with writing and how
Mhm.
you were able to overcome them.
Yeah, so everybody's journey is really is individual, and that's on your timeline. But for me in particular, I had the death of my father, and then I
Mm,
just shut down completely. I didn't
mm,
write anything,
mm,
and also Earning my first doctorate. I'm actually in school now to earn a different one. So I was doing a lot of scientific writing to earn the
Mm,
degrees, and I couldn't be in two places at once, you know. I'm
mhm,
capable of a lot, but doing the scientific psychology writing and then also trying to navigate like a romance novel, it just didn't work. And I didn't have the capacity at that time
absolutely.
to write it. And so once I moved through that, the grief and then getting through earning the degree, I revisited it.
Mhm.
And God, as magnificent as He is, said, listen, it's time for you to write again, and just blew so much new breath and energy and life and vitality into me. I actually released four Dr. Elisa books last year dedicated to Black women in the You Are Enough series. And I said, okay, Lord, this feels good. Thank you. you know. And then this year I came out with the Power series, the first book, and then Deja Vu. And I wrote Deja Vu in record time. And I said,
Mm,
oh my God, I'm just so glad to be writing again. So anyway, to come over writer's block, I would say is to never lose the fire. Try not to lose the fire and remember your why. Right?
mm,
Love to write, if you love to tell stories, if it's just something cathartic for you, whatever your reason is, and that's with anything in life, just remember
wow,
your why. Ask God
wow,
to not leave you in the process,
right,
and return
right.
to it. Whatever that means to you, if your why is strong enough, you're going to find a way to do anything in life. So I would say,
Oh,
remember why.
wonderful. Remember the why. I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
Before we bring in our next guest, Lori is waiting to come on. And I want you to meet Lori because that's part of what we do here at Books and Besties. We want to hear about you, but then we want you to hear about others.
Okay.
And so before we bring her in, is there anything you could say to encourage an author that
Mhm.
that finding a publishing company is a possibility? It's
Absolutely.
possible.
Yeah. Uh, what I would say is to shut out the noise.
Mm,
What psychology has taught me is that when you understand people's psychology, and it doesn't mean you have to understand everything about psychology or the individual you're talking to, but
mhm,
just understand that people have their own individual makeup.
mhm.
And when you shut out the noise, you release yourself from carrying the burdens of people's projections,
Yes.
of their limitations, of
Yes.
of of everything that you shouldn't carry because it doesn't belong to you.
Ooh.
And so when you think about becoming a writer, you're going to have a lot of people that say, no, that's not for you, that's for them,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
And so that can be discouraging if you're not equipped. Shut out the
mhm.
noise. You want to be a writer? Why? Remember that why. But you have to shut out the noise from other people.
Yes.
Unfortunately, some of us are designed in the way that can be discouraging to others because we
Yes.
lack the wholeness within ourselves. And I can
Yes.
tell you that I have overcome that as a writer. And it's what I hear over and over again. It could be family members or close friends that want to put you in their box of limitations, but we color outside the lines over here. So
Absolutely.
shut out the noise.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, Doc, I don't want you to go anywhere. I'm going to put you backstage for just a little bit. Thank you
Sure.
so much. And I'll bring you back
Mhm.
on in just a minute. Wow, that is absolutely amazing. Next, we've got Lori, and I'm bringing you to the stage, Lori. I love your background. Thank you so much, dear. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to Books and Besties.
Thank you. This is so wonderful to be here. I'm so honored and pleased and
Oh,
excited.
yeah. We're excited to have you. RiseAboveGrief.com. I tell you, I just found out yesterday I lost a cousin. And so I'm functioning in a professional way because
Mhm.
life must go on. But how do you rise above grief? Tell us a little
So
bit about
sorry.
that.
So sorry to hear that.
Mm,
Well, I have a bunch of what I call peace-centered healing habits that I've been collecting since the early 90s, and they've just come in handy more and more as time goes on. And well, the first one is align with the divine or realign with the divine, as needed. And for me, it's many times a day, from before I get out of bed until I'm, in bed again at night, and lots of times in between, and lots of gratitude. There's always something, someone, some moment to be grateful for. And I rely
Right.
very heavily on that. I
Right.
learned that from Oprah decades ago. She had Sarah, I can't think of the woman's last name, but she had this beautiful big book, which I bought right away. And it really changed my life to
Oh,
have that focus. Yes.
wow.
Yeah. And I've been grateful for that because it's gotten me through a lot of different kinds of grief and loss, with parents, aging parents. I lost my mom to dementia in November of 2019. And that was, quite a few years of lots of grief through that. And my dad had a stroke somewhere in there. And so both of them were in assisted living and memory care units as next door neighbors. So,
Oh, no.
yes, there was a lot of grief in that. And then, I said my mom passed, and then my dad passed this January. So,
My
and I have
condolences.
3 younger brothers, but guess who did the bulk of the work for 11
Oh,
years?
well, yes,
Take
yes.
one guess, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there's so much grief in that. But besides dealing with people passing away, I've had good friends and, of course, grandparents that I adored and so on. There's been grief in a lot of other ways, even besides the caregiving role. I ended up, because I wasn't taking care of myself, I was busy taking care of everyone else. I ended up with very serious, several right in a row in a 3-year period of life-threatening illnesses. And there was so much grief in that because for months at a time, with several of the things that came up for me, I was stuck at home. If I wasn't in the hospital or the ER, I was home, and I didn't have a choice but to ask for help and accept help, both of which had not been easy prior. And so there was grief in that, and I had to let go of a job that I considered a joy. I always said my job is a joy, and that was a major loss for me. And I had a lot of peculiar losses growing up that weren't about death, but they were just sudden losses of relationships that you didn't see coming. And the situations were, like I said, very peculiar. So, but number one for me is the align with the divine. I also, when I remember, because, this is always about remembering how to take care of ourselves, right? The breathing and the hydrating and the reaching out for support and asking for help, and not trying to go it alone, because I
Yes,
think so many of us do. I think we're programmed that way. It was role modeled for us. In
yes,
many cases, for myself, it was my mom and my grandma who role modeled. Everybody else comes first.
yes, yes,
So
yes, yes,
yeah, so there's
yes.
a lot of that.
I hear over and over that we lose the caregivers before the patient because the caregivers,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
And I was concerned about that for a while. It was very
mm,
scary for me. And
mm,
then I thought, if something happens to me, which I was trying very hard for it not to, but if so, who's going to take care of my dad? So, but it didn't work out that way, thank goodness, and I'm feeling great. And now I'm on to writing and so on. And the riseabovegrief.com, that's actually a free checklist of 10 tips on how to lighten your load when dealing with loss that I put together after my mom died. So that's just to help anyone and everyone, and it's with any kind of grief. And my book, um, Grief Relief, just came out.
oh,
I have it backwards. All right, I
no,
thought I
no, no. We can read it.
yes.
It looks,
Oh, all
yep.
right. Okay, because on my
Mhm.
screen it looks backwards, but I thought I did it properly. So this just came out in July, and this is 3 healing habits for dealing with loss. And it's in paperback and ebook form, and I just had a narrator complete the narration of it. She did an amazing job, so that'll be out in a few weeks. And ironically, I got chills just thinking about it. When I reached out for narrators, she was the first one that responded, and she lost her mom last year at
Oh,
101. She was
Oh,
a caregiver. They lived together, and the book spoke to her. She said, "I would be honored to narrate it for you." And I was just amazed
yes.
how, the synchronicity of, and the divine arrangements of things. And even for this interview, you know, I met somebody at the library a week and a half ago, and we got to talking, and then she mentioned Avalon, and one thing led to another. Avalon
Yeah.
reached out to me right away, and turned out I was dealing with a family loss that had just come up.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so last week was very tough for me, but it all worked out. So yeah, it's just, and it's also that staying open. What I like to say, and I'm going to write a book about it: grief, gratitude, and grace. I've written
Oh.
articles, but I want to write a book about it,
Mhm.
because what I discovered when my mom died, and even prior to that, when she was getting worse and worse, and I put her on hospice, and all those were very lonely, very heart-wrenching decisions and experiences that I had. But
Mhm.
what I was realizing was that my gratitude practice was connecting me to grace.
Mm.
After she passed, it escalated even further.
Grace.
Yeah, so
Mm.
grief, gratitude, and grace. That's a book I'm going to write in the future. So
Mm.
probably early next year, because I already have a book that's coming out this month, and a journal, and a podcast. So and
Oh, good for
I'm already
you.
working on a caregivers relief book, which will I'll finish up first. But I really just discovered that grace piece. It's just amazing when
Mhm.
things come together that you just couldn't see coming. Like, I went to the library
Amen.
to do some work, and ended up with a lovely chat, and here I am,
Oh,
like 10 days later or whatever. So yeah.
look at how he orders our footsteps. It is beautiful. It
Exactly.
is beautiful.
Exactly. Yep.
We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I want you to meet Dr. Gabriel. I'd love for the two of you to interact just a little bit, because I'm just feeling something in my spirit. So we'll be back with more of Books and Besties in just a minute, everybody.
Sounds great. Thank you.
A conversation with Mama.
Many will come on this segment and they will come because they need to have a conversation with their mama.
Amen.
A Conversation with Mama is a series of episodes that discuss different topics that are important to you. Standing on God's Word and the Scripture as found in Proverbs 31:26. Now it's time for today's episode of A Conversation with Mama. Sundays at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please allow us to introduce you to one of the graduates of our YEP program.
Hi, I'm Sandra BEE. I live in Michigan. And yep, I'm an author.
YEP, Youth Entrepreneur Author Program. Our goal is to initiate literacy in students and lead them to entrepreneurship through authorship. Our mission is to identify and invite organizations to participate in this program. Students participate in virtual writing workshops where they are encouraged to write their stories and provide reviews of stories read. We ask you to support our youth. For a donation of only $50, your company or organization will be mentioned as a youth supporter in the next audiobook. Send an email to yepI'mAnAuthor@gmail.com to provide a scholarship for a young person to participate.
Yep, I'm an author.
Proceeds are accepted and disbursed by Angie BEE Productions. And now, These students are authors and entrepreneurs. Follow us online. Just search for Yup, I'm an Author on Facebook. Use the hashtag Yup, I'm an Author. Or call 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519 for more information. This program is sponsored in part by Angie BEE and Barty Productions.
Yep, I'm an author.
Like I said earlier, it is time to register our next crop of students so that they can become authors and entrepreneurs as well. And I am just thrilled at the accomplishments that this little program has made throughout the years since the pandemic. And I'm excited to work with young people. I'd love to have Dr. Gabriel return to camera and meet Lori. These are two delightful folks. Lori, where do you live?
I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, see there. You probably have crossed paths every now and then.
Yes. Nice to meet you, Lori.
You as well. I enjoyed what I heard. I caught the tail end of your talk, and I loved every word and agreed.
Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for your loss, and I
Thank you.
respect you for turning pain into purpose.
Thank
My
you.
condolences as well.
Thank you.
Makes a big difference. Lori, I'm going to ask you a question that I already asked the doctor. Give us some ideas of how to pull the book out of you. People may have writer's block or just dealing with grief of their own. How do I sit down and pull a book out if I know it's in there? What can you recommend?
That's a great question. One thing I've been successful at in recent years, particularly the last few, is really paying closer attention to the divine nudges and suggestions and ideas and so on. So I try to pay attention to that. And then when I want to write, I really just connect in, to my angels, and I just do my prayer work and my other practices to just be as open and clean and clear and pure a channel as possible for God to just speak through me and work through me.
Absolutely.
And you know how that is, as humans, some days are better than others. Some days I'm really in the flow and some days not so much, but and I find drinking water and breathing and just continuing to connect in. And I'm going to say sometimes when I'm not in the flow enough, I just let it go for the moment. I'll either go back to it later or in the next day or a few days or whatever. I try not to push it because I don't want it to be a frustration or a negative experience.
Right.
So those are some of my tricks, and they usually work. Not always, but they usually work. And I'm probably not thinking of all of them, but those are the basics. And I just keep going back, like, okay, and when I was given an idea specifically, then I don't necessarily write it down, or sometimes I do, but I'll just think of whatever that idea was that I was given. And then I just do a mind map just in my mind of words and phrases that connect to that, emotions, feelings, experiences. And sometimes that'll give me another direction to pursue with whatever the topic is.
A mind map. I am not familiar with that term.
Oh, well, that's where you just take your word or your phrase, you put it in the middle. Like I said, I usually do it mentally, But I put in the middle, and then I just go, okay, so let's say the word is grief. Okay, well, there's sadness, there's, and maybe I'll mention different kinds of losses that I've had. And then, what are the tools and the healing habits that I use to help myself to feel better and so on. And then you
Mm.
go off even on some of those topics. Like, let's say,
Wow.
I mentioned gratitude before. And so gratitude's one of them. Well, then I might work off of that with okay, start my day with gratitude, I end my day with gratitude, I express gratitude in between, and there's journaling for gratitude and that sort of thing, and then that can kind of spread out.
Wow. I tell you, it almost sounds like an outline for a book. You got your
Exactly.
topic, and then
Exactly. Yep.
you do that for the little chapters that are going to be in there.
Yes. Yeah,
That is
exactly.
incredible.
And I'm
And
just going to say that for me, I mean, I'm very new to writing. I never saw this coming. I never planned it. And so, it was a divine idea, literally, because this was not part of my life plan at all. I never even liked to write. But, life experiences kind of just begged for it. And I just realized, like, I've just been through so much, and I have great ways of keeping myself going. I have to share them. That's just where I was at with it. But what I've discovered is, particularly over these last few years, and I was dealing with serious health stuff during this time too,
mm,
but the more you practice it, the easier it gets for you to get into the groove most of the time.
mm,
I mean, nothing's all the time, right? But I have found that I can write faster. My ideas come to me better. The creativity flows through me a little bit easier and faster. So I
nice.
think it's just, getting into that habit and that practice and the mindset. And the
I,
mindset that you can do it. Because in the beginning I thought, what in the world am I
what
doing?
am I doing? Yes. Yes.
But then what, I wrote things and I was getting positive feedback, which flabbergasted me. Like, all right, I'm doing something right, even if it doesn't feel, really comfortable yet or whatever. So
That is
I won't even say
incredible.
too much, but
What am I doing? I'm writing a book. That's what I'm doing. So, ladies, I'm going to put you backstage. And while you are there, you will find a private chat. That is just a chat for the guests that are here on the show. It doesn't go out in the public, but please put your contact information in the private chat so you can connect with each other. And while you do that, I'm going to give some shout outs. Dr. Rita Renee says it's great to meet the two of you. Great women, great women. I'm excited about that. Shout out to Tracy Newbill Etheridge. She's also celebrating Alopecia Awareness Month with me. Yes, we are not our hair. And Tracy, in case you didn't hear, I'm all natural today. No eyebrows, no eyelashes, no lipstick, because I want you to accept the beauty that you have. I don't have anything against makeup. I love me some fingernails and I love me some makeup, but you don't have to feel like you're trapped by it, like you can't go out to the mailbox or you can't go out to the store. I would love for somebody to see me all natural and feel empowered that they can do the same thing. And then we've got Alopecia Awareness Month this September. We've got Deaf Awareness Month this September, and we've got Sickle Cell Awareness Month this September. And for the past 5 or 6 years, we have helped to spread awareness for all three of those causes. So DT is here and he is ready to come on to the show. So let me bring you in. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. Welcome to Books and Besties. I appreciate you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. I want to put your contact information on the screen so that our viewers and our listeners can get in touch with you. What's
Sure.
best for you, an email address or a website?
You can put my website.
Okay. Tell me what that is.
It's DT Scarola, SCAROLA.com.
.com. All right. dtscarola.com. Okay. I got you up on the screen. So Tell me something good, like Shaka Khan used to say. Tell me something good. What are you most excited about today?
Great band, Shaka Khan.
Yeah.
I'm a child of the 80s, so believe me, I know that.
Me and you too. That's good.
That
That's
was the
good.
greatest generation.
All right. All right. Tell us about you. Where do you live and what are you most excited about today?
Well, I live in Spotswood, New Jersey.
Oh.
I've lived in New Jersey all my life. I grew up here. I did a stint in the United States Marine Corps when I was younger, out of high school. I worked for the same company for 33 years.
Mm.
I enjoy what I do. I have a family. I have a son and daughter. I've been married for 25 years. We just celebrated our 25th anniversary.
Congratulations.
My daughter, my son just started their first days of school. My son's a junior, and my daughter is in 8th grade.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. That is a beautiful testimony and a wonderful reason to be excited today.
Yes, very excited.
Yeah. So if I were to go to your website, what would I find?
Well, you'll find my books, obviously, that I wrote. And then you'll find books of authors that I've read their books and I recommend them. So I tell authors all the time, if you want me to, post your book on my site, I will, and I'll give you a shout out. And so I do that a lot. There's some children's authors up there. There's some, nice fiction authors up there that I really like. So yeah, I try to help as many independent authors as I can, get their books out.
Absolutely. That is wonderful. You try to help others. Thank you for that. Because I run into people all the time. Oh, they say I need to write a book, but I don't know how to start. I don't know if anybody would be interested. And now I can tell them, get in touch with DT. Yes. He can help.
I felt the same way. I never thought about writing books. It only came to me within the last 2 years. I had a kind of a health scare about 2 years ago. I was in the hospital, and when I was in there, I was thinking to myself, all right, what's going to happen to my kids? And, then I said, what am I doing? And then I was watching TV and I saw the Special Olympics, the Paralympics. I saw the guys in the wheelchairs, playing basketball. And I'm like, wow, these guys are better than me and with wheelchairs than I am with 2 feet. I'm like, this is amazing. So then I thought about a story, and I thought about a friend of mine who I've been friends with for over 20 years. His name is Terry. And I wrote my first novel. And then I saw my son and I said, I remember stories I used to tell him when he was a kid. And I said, I'm going to start writing children's books as well. So I started to write my first children's book, which was My Black Friend, My White Friend.
Oh,
so I wanted to show, that it doesn't matter, where you grew up, what color your skin, racism ends with the children. And you see how you ever watch how the kids get along, they hug, they play, they don't see anything except just kids,
They don't.
Yeah. And I used to coach T-ball, and my team was mixed race, and all the kids were playing, having a good time, displaying cards to each other, so, and that's what made me write that first book,
Oh.
Then I said, I want to do something more. I want to teach the alphabet. So I wrote the alphabet book, and then I did the Count With Me book, which is Count With Me 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
So I want to also teach, because I notice a lot of kids aren't learning the basics anymore, alphabet, how to count. So I want to teach that too, so, and then the books have been getting well reviewed. People like it. People came up to me at the event that we went to, and they said, oh, I love your book. My son loves reading it. And so I got some praise, which I'm very happy about.
Oh, excuse me. I thought I was going to sneeze. Excuse me for that. How do you get your good reviews? I talk to authors that have no reviews and they want to know how to get them. Can you give us some advice on that?
You know what? Someone told me, get as much social media as possible. You want people to see you out there, get your book out there. I know there's a website out there where people will read your book. They're not fake reviews, they're real reviews. They'll read your book. And then you put your book up there, and then people will read it and then put comments about it. I think it's called a book reverb. That's what it's called. Yeah. They actually have people, they pay people to read your book. and then they actually put real reviews on there, which is good.
Book reverb.
Yeah, I think it's book reverb, and they're very well received. And I got that from somebody at one of the shows that we were at, and they told me about it, and I've been doing that. And people, the last review I just got was amazing. It was a big long paragraph about my fiction book called "Jesus Take My Wheels," which is it's called "Jesus Take My Wheels: The Rise of Wheelchair Basketball." So
look at it! Wow. That is beautiful. And it was a winner.
Inspirational story. Yeah, I won 2 awards, which I'm very happy about. It's an inspirational story. It tells you that it doesn't matter what cards you're dealt, it always comes out in the end. And whatever door closes, another one opens. So
Wonderful.
Don't ever give up. Just because something bad has happened to you.
Wonderful.
And that's what the book is about. Yeah.
God is good. God is good. Well, here at Books and Besties, we like for each other. We like for our guests to meet each other and to be able to contact one another. So I'm going to put you backstage for just a little bit. And I want you to put your contact information in the private chat that you see. If you haven't already done that, put it in. I see Lori's got her contact information in there, and Dr. Alyssa has her information back there. And while you guys are doing that, I want to bring Dr. Shade on to camera. I'm fascinated about the title of your book. The Be Well Women of Color. So first, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I appreciate you. I really do. Tell me about this Be Well Women of Color. Tell me about that.
Okay. Well, Be Well Women of Color came to me, and I engaged my daughter, who's a co-founder, to try to help women of color have better self-esteem, find the loopholes that they often miss trying to assimilate into the culture.
Yes.
And a part of that is our inability to embrace rest.
Yes.
We're not always good at stopping the grind. We go from one place to the next, and we work and we work. And so I wanted to educate as well as expose them to other ways of living. And I used the wellness wheel, which has all these different components to it about what it looks like to live a healthy, balanced life.
Wow.
And we had our first conference 3 years ago, and it was well attended, and we had a launching. And since then, we've been having large as well as smaller group events. But our main thrust is to develop a community of women of color who can relate as well as share, as well as educate. So all of that is in there. Wow. And we post different things during the week. We have a private Facebook group, but if you want to join, you certainly can. I'll put the information out there. And so we are trying our best to rewrite the script. Like, where is our Wakanda? Like, where can we go where we can truly feel our own self and be validated?
Yes.
Because sometimes our messages have been mixed. Our grandmothers and their grandmothers knew the value of hard work.
Yes.
But they never took time off to rest.
Nope.
And they taught you that there was no real place of rest. So get up out of that bed and nothing wrong with you. You going to school today. And, they tend to us, but they never gave us permission to just rest.
Yes. Yeah. I am definitely a candidate there. If the sun is shining and I'm in the bed, I feel like I need to be doing dishes or laundry or writing a chapter or calling somebody for prayer. I get it. I get it. And it's a shame that we still need that service. We still need what you're introducing. But I'm happy that you have. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I've been in private practice for a number of years. And I'll tell you, the next crossover piece for me was women of color serving their churches, but to the to the detriment of some of
Detriment.
their health.
Mm-hmm.
Not that, listen, I'm a church girl, so, but
Mm-hmm.
there comes a time when choosing between the other people's expectations and knowing
Yes.
your own limit.
Yes.
In the book, I talk about a character called Renee, and Renee is living a normal life and day that women of color live all the time. And there's the health, there's the money shortage, there's the impatience, the frustration, there's all these things that we don't know how to verbalize or acknowledge. And so when her partner gets home, she's snapping and barking and et cetera, et cetera. So I
Yeah.
take us through her journey a little bit.
Yes. Yes. That is absolutely astounding. That we still need that piece of encouragement. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. We've got a couple shout outs that I need to do. Literary Indulgence Bookish Delights says, I feel guilty if I rest. And so thank you for that, because I thought I was the only one. I feel guilty. And we've got we've got some hearts and some thumbs up on our Facebook page. We do appreciate you for being here. And keep on watching, like, and share. Keep on watching, like, and share. So, Doc, tell me some more about why you wrote your book.
Well, I was my own first patient, so to speak. I was the head of a very large department at a very large school district here in Jersey, and I was grinding it out. I had vision, I had purpose, I had energy. I managed to help get a couple of grants for the district. And I mean, we were rolling when my body said, we're tired, we're sick, we're not healthy, we're not well. And I ended up in intensive care. And as I laid there and looked up at the ceiling, I said to myself, well, God, I guess I can hear you now. So
Mm,
doing good and doing much doesn't always equal your health as well as your success. So I had to
correct.
come off the job. I had to come off the job and had to make major decisions about my life and et cetera. So that was one of the main impetus for me to share my successes and my not so great successes around where to draw the line. And I was in love with children. I was their ambassador, but sometimes the plight is so heavy
Mm,
that we think we're invincible. So I had to take off the
mhm.
cap, I had to take off the cape,
Yes.
and I had to settle back down to who I was as a person, as a woman,
Oof.
as a mom. My kids were grown by then. I should say they were in college, but they
Mhm.
still needed me, and I had
Yes.
completely run amok.
Yes. I think Miss Lori can relate. Lori, I'm gonna bring you in so you can meet Dr. Shade. Oh my goodness. She
Yes, I
yeah.
hi. It's so nice to meet you. I already wrote your name down on my pad because I heard that and I'm like, yep, I totally get it.
Nice to meet you.
You too. I'm a retired educator, by the way. So yes,
Okay.
my life with children started at 11 when I was babysitting, and it's just continued all these decades and forevermore. So I can totally relate.
That's wonderful. Well, my background was social work, but I did it in schools, and
Oh, okay.
I ran up the ranks to be able to be the supervisor and then interim director for student services. And I gave it my all. And
I know
that's
you did. I could tell.
one of the first rules is don't give it all. Don't give everything away. Keep something for yourself.
Yeah.
It
So,
Well,
it
I only
definitely
learned that about 3 years ago. And
oh,
even at that, when the health issues started up real bad, it still took me a while to fully get it, because I was so wired and programmed that you just give it all
you
to
give it all.
family, to children, to everybody but yourself.
That's
yes.
right.
Yes, you really, really do. We do. I see DT back there nodding his head, so I'm gonna bring him in. I tell you, this is a whole different perspective, isn't it, DT?
Yes, it is, and I agree with him 100%. That's how I started writing. When I was in the hospital, I got sick, and it brought a new light to me, and I said I have to do something different. I have to change. I have to relax. Don't take things too seriously. Just breathe and just let things happen. Like I said, when one door closes, another one will open, and you just work, live life and enjoy it. Especially if you have younger kids. I have younger kids. Watch them get older. My son's getting ready to join the army, so I got a lot to look forward to. So book writing helps. Book writing does help me get rid of a lot of anger. If I get mad at something, I'll just start writing. And I'll come up with a whole new chapter. In about an hour. It does help.
I want to thank you for your service, DT. I appreciate your stint in the military. Thank you so much for keeping us safe. And thank you for writing a book that children can relate to. Because children don't see black and white. They just see, like you said, they just see another kid looks like them. About their height, about their weight.
That's all it is.
Be a new friend.
Yes. Like they say, racism ends with the children. They're the ones that they don't see anything except another child. That's it. And they always play together and they have a good time.
That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Lori, I want you to know I've worked with people who are grief counselors, and they all pretty much say the same thing. They pour everything out in their book. Tell me how you're able to get it all out and still be able to rise above. How are you able to get it out, Lori?
Well, that's a good question. The grief relief book, I actually started well over a year ago. And then I was dealing with so much additional grief because my one brother and I emptied out our parents' house of 65 years worth of stuff. It was overwhelming. That put me in the ICU. The other ones put me in a hospital, a little bit at a slower pace, but that one got me, yeah. So that was major. And so when I started recovering after that, I said, you know what, I just have to put that book aside. I couldn't deal with any more grief. I was doing the best I could using my peace-centered healing habits, but I couldn't deal with writing about it. And when my dad died in January, it was very interesting. A few weeks later, I finished that book.
Oh, wow.
I can't quite explain it,
Wow.
but it was healing for me. It was absolutely healing for me. So, and I have a few more grief relief books in me. Like I said, the Grief, Gratitude, and Grace, but I've got one or two other ones as well. I just think it's a topic that so many people are experiencing grief, just with the changes, with things that are happening in the country. There's just so much. And then everybody has their individual things, the individual challenges, which there seems to be a lot more of. So and sometimes I forget to use my my tools and my habits. I get sucked into whatever I'm experiencing, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, you know what, I got to get back to, I call myself the easy peasy practitioner because I practice what I teach.
Oh,
But
okay.
I forget too. So
Okay, understood. All right, we've got a question from a viewer, and I'd like each of you to address this. Doc, I want you to address it first. How do you get rewired? Is it when you're forced to do it? And how do you go about it? That came from Literary Indulgence, Bookish Delights. How do you get rewired, Doc? You got any suggestions?
Yes, and one of them is listen to your body.
mm-hmm.
If we could slow down enough to hear our bodies, they would tell us, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, I'm having trouble thinking my way through solving this problem. We would get the level of intelligence from our souls. That's what I call our souls. And we don't often listen because we don't tune in, because our mind is so focused on certain goals and achievements and checks off of our list.
Yes.
We blaze right past
the
opportunity to get rewired. So I talk about in the book having a Sabbath, having practiced stillness. And I know that that's hard when your children are young, but you have to map out a place somewhere in your house, and hopefully not your car, but it's a start to debrief the day and really get in touch with what you're thinking and feeling without, feeling like you don't have time. You have time. We have the same 24 hours that everybody else has. It's the way we spend it. So yeah, I rewire by taking it down, doing some stillness, of course, some journaling. But the main thing, I think, if you're like me and I hear others, you have to listen to your body.
Yes.
The
Yes.
headaches, the digestive disorders that start to show up, and we dismiss it. Oh, I ate something bad. No, that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say as a preliminary.
Absolutely. How about you, DT? Can you contribute to that question? How do you get rewired? How do you go about it?
Yeah, I agree with her 100%. I had when I was in the hospital, I had digestive issues because of stress, and it almost killed me. So what I learned from that is that whenever you feel stressed or you feel down or you don't feel right, I tell people, write or do something creative. If you look at most of these people, when they write a book or they write a movie or a song, when they write it at their most worst time. Some of the greatest love songs come from breakups, right? So that is when that's when I think your creativity side comes out, is when you're angry or you're upset. And if you put it out on paper, you get it out there now it's out, and you wind up making something that you're proud of. I told my daughter the same thing, and she draws now. When she gets a bit angry, she'll draw, and some of her best drawings are when she's angry. So she's very talented when it comes to that. So
wow.
Yeah, I people.
My mom was that way. She was just beautiful with pen and paper and colors, but she couldn't just sit down and draw. She had to finish whipping one of us first, or be upset about something that Dad did, and then all her frustration. Oh, she could just get it together. So I get that. I get that.
Yeah. My mom used the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, the big Italian wooden spoon.
Wow. Lori, how do you get rewired? Do you wait until you're forced into it, or how do you go about that?
Well, that's frequently been my MO when I'm forced into it, but I really am trying to be more and more mindful. It's just one of those many journeys that I'm going on of improving, and I try to make my best better every day. But I definitely agree. I write about this in my grief relief book too, this sitting in stillness and connecting to your body and listening. What's going on in there? What does it need? What have I been missing the boat on, and so on. And journaling is wonderful. It's not something that I normally do, but for me, the writing is like journaling.
Yes.
So that works. And also, I love grounding. I love going out in my backyard with, bare feet, and either sitting with my bare feet on Mother Earth or walking around, because grounding, or some people call it earthing, it's so healing on so many levels, because you're connecting in with Mother Earth and her love and her centeredness and all the nutrients and so on. So those are a couple of my top tips, and definitely the breathing. And I put my hands on my heart, I close my eyes, and I kind of usually do that when I do the stillness thing, and just and connect to the breathing, and and go from there.
Incredible. I'm in Florida, so we don't do too much grounding because of the fire ants and the snakes. But but I think I can go outside and do some breathing. That sounds incredible, because there are times when I know people who they'll be in the house for days, and you've got to get out, you've got to breathe, you've got to get that the nutrients from the sun. You've got to get them on you. Oh, praise God. Okay, I'm gonna put the three of you backstage for just a minute. We've got to tell you again about Alopecia Awareness Month and our upcoming fundraiser, the Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar. Come out and enjoy the 9th annual Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar fashion show. It takes place Saturday, September 20th, 2025 at 11 o'clock a.m. at the Shore Stay Plus by Best Western Hotel Ballroom. located at 2710 Osborne Road, St. Mary's, Georgia. Admission donations are accepted at the door. This is a fundraiser for the National Alopecia Areata Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. For vendor registration or more information, send a text to 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519.
Ma, 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 ma.
We parents need to understand that our children may know the pitfalls that we taught them, yet they will sometimes have to drag themselves out of their own pits in order to learn to reach up for God instead of reaching up for us, steering them in the direction of God Almighty. That is the best way to raise an adult child. Why hearing God's voice is essential to motherhood. Written by evangelist Angie BEE and published by Ladero Press.
Ma.
Tell you, sometimes you've got to pat yourself on the back. And so that was my second book. I'm still excited about it, and I want each of you to know about it. I will have my books available at the Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar in St. Mary's, Georgia. So you can get in touch with me there, or you can send an email to evangelistangieb@gmail.com, and I'll tell you all about our books. We've got a great, eclectic team of guests on the show today, and we've got two more questions for them. So, Lori, I'm going to bring you on stage. I'm going to bring DT back, and Dr. Shade wants you to come back as well, because the questions may be directed at you individually, but I think each of you will have something to say about it. So the first question that came in is for DT. You said that your son is preparing for the military. How do you feel about your son going into the military compared to maybe when you were entering the military?
I feel probably the same. I mean, but the difference is when I grew up poor. You know, my mother was a single mother. She had 3 boys, and I couldn't afford college. And I had to make a decision, so I went in the military for that reason. My son's going in because he wants to go in. You know, he wants to serve his country. He wants to learn a trade. He wants to learn to be a mechanic, and they will teach him that. So I'm happy about it. I'm proud.
That's good. That's good. And then our next question is about grief. Lori, you said that just a few weeks after your father passed, you were able to finish a project. And so the question is, how did you do it? The person that sent in the text said, I'm still in the throes of grief. I don't think I could get up, much less finish a book. How do you think you did it?
Well, for me, this wasn't the goal at the moment, but it ended up, it was very cathartic to me to give a visual to how I was feeling and what I was experiencing, you know, as I was typing and so on. And it just, I'll be honest, it really, a lot came from above, because I felt like much of it came through me, not from me. And so for me, I think it was more just the willingness and the choice to be open, because as I said before, that's how I start before I write. You know, I connect in, and I affirm that I'm an open channel. And honestly, in looking back, I'm not really 100% sure how that happened, but I felt like most of it wasn't me. So I hope that helps whoever asked that question. And I'm so sorry for what you're going through.
Yeah.
I totally relate. And I will say it gets better. It gets better.
Good, good, good.
Moment to moment, as I like to say, day by day.
Oh, yeah. Give yourself grace to be
Exactly.
able to recover. Give yourself grace. Dr. Shade, why did you decide to get this organization started? Um,
I think I saw myself in other, I'll say, casualties by the wayside. And the more I tuned in, there are a lot of us out there who have experienced the same thing. We're chasing success and the American dream, but we also want, to have our families not experience where we might have had any deficits, et cetera. And so, I started to notice there's a lot of us. And if we could pull together, we could become a community of,
yes,
of resources and support. And
yes.
and I think that for especially with the number of women now that have just recently been all laid off and
Oh,
all this DEI stuff, I think it's apropos. It's time for us to look at our own resources and say, I'm not dependent. That's my talent they're using. That's my skill. I've studied hard. I know what I'm doing. So I really thought that besides that, I might be able to share nuggets of truth as well as
yes, yes.
healing soul. And so I was motivated to. I have to tell another part of the story real briefly. There was a woman on Zoom at a particular location, and she looked. I know we're in the era of body positive, which means whatever I got is okay or whatever. The way she had dressed herself was distressing to me. And I said to myself, her identity is off. You know,
Mm,
everything is not for everybody. And so I looked and I could see into her soul that she had low self esteem
mm,
and that she
mm,
was willing to attract attention any way possible. Now she wasn't X-rated, but she was just that was not for her. And I said,
mm,
how many other women follow the trends of the popular culture? And it's like
mm.
you're covering your real self trying to be somebody else.
Ooh,
That
yeah.
was another motivation. I was like, these younger women, and even in our age group, I was like, it's time for them to understand that they are not the product. They are not the outward picture. There's something unique in you and about you that you need to discover and then honor.
Mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm.
yeah, I was
Amen.
motivated because
Amen.
I'm like, we got to get excuse me, we have to get the word out that we're okay. And if we're
Just
not okay,
an honor.
we need to move to a different strategy.
Mm, mm, mm. You need to discover and honor. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. I want you. Oh, go ahead, Lori.
I just wanted to add to my answer because I'm a thinker and things come to me later to whoever asked that question. It could be various mediums. It could be drawing or painting or, dancing, whatever this person, has a passion for, an interest in that could help them. For
Mm,
me, it was the writing and which was a new wrinkle for me for sure. But it could be anything,
mm,
and definitely connecting to other people for sure. And if it was the loss of a loved one, then, maybe making a scrapbook or a collage or something, something that you're going through the positive memories. It probably, will bring up a lot of tears and whatnot, but it will hopefully also bring up a lot of sweet, loving memories and so on as well. So there are a lot of different ways to do it.
wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I want to really give kudos to each of you because we've got a testimony here that I'm going to put up on the screen. Literary Indulgence Bookish Delights says, I've been experiencing digestive issues for the last few months and I can't figure it out. I've been looking at my food intake, but based on this conversation, my body may be sending a sign to me. So glad that I stopped by today. I need to listen and stop procrastinating on the fast paced schedule, the late night working, and the inadequate amounts of sleep. Thank you for sharing your information. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Great
This,
insights.
oh
Great
my
insights.
goodness. This is wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all. I'm grateful to be. If we can just reach just one, then then we've done well. We've done well. Well, literary indulgence, bookish delights. I hope you can connect with Dr. Shade. I hope you can connect with Lori and DT, because I do not believe it was a coincidence that Avalon scheduled the three of you for such a time as this. Avalon did a great job
She
scheduling
did.
the three of you. It's almost like a theme that we have going on, almost like a theme. So, do have another question for DT. I'm wondering why everybody's fascinated with this military thing, but they are. The next, oh, where did I do with that question? Oh. How do you get your son prepared for the military, DT? How do you?
Well, I mean, in the military, it's a different atmosphere. One thing I'll say about the military, people give it a bad rap, but all right. So when I grew up, in a prominently Italian, Catholic, Yugoslavian neighborhood, and there wasn't many, Black African American at all. When I joined the military, I actually was in a platoon, and what it does, it brings you together with people of all cultures. And I've learned what I learned from the Black community. I learned from the service, because I would talk to people, talk to them. We become roommates. We learn about each other's cultures. I had a Thanksgiving in Okinawa, Japan, with my sergeant, and it was the first time I had Thanksgiving away from home, and I had it with him. And it reminded me of that movie. Who remembers that movie, Big Mama's House?
Oh yeah.
It was like that. It was just food everywhere, and it was amazing. And that's why it's one of my favorite movies now, because I remember when I was in Thanksgiving. So, if anything, the military will get you to learn more about other people and how to live with other people. And you have to learn, because it's the military. It's not like going to college where you can go crazy. In the military, you have to abide by strict rules. So you have to learn to live together and work together, and as a team. And on the battlefield, there is no black, white, Spanish. There's your fellow military man saving your life, and that is what it's about. And you can learn a lot. I learned my trade from being in the service, because we couldn't afford college. So I learned it there. And my son's going to learn helicopter mechanics in the military, which he couldn't learn out here unless he went to school. And we don't have the money for that. So, they're going to pay for it, which is great. So that's why I use it for you. It's what you get out of it, what you put into it,
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you. And thank you to the audience member that sent in those questions. I do appreciate that. I do. Dr. Shade, can you tell us more about your book? Tell us more about why you wrote it, and why. Oh, I think we lost her. There she is. She's back. There you are. You're back. Tell us more about your book, and why it would be a good addition to my library back there.
Well, it's written kind of as a journal as well as an educational tool, and it gives you time to reflect on each of the areas that are being covered. So, for instance, when we talk about your soul, we are asking you to evaluate your own spiritual connection, whatever that is, because we're three-dimensional, and so we sometimes neglect the spiritual side of ourselves, and that doesn't necessarily mean church. It means connecting with the power greater outside of yourself and realizing that you are spirit and soul and body. And so we spend most of our time in our heads, but as I said earlier, we don't always honor the body. And there are exercises in that book that help you to drill down into who am I as a soul, not as a person where I show up with different faces, who am I at work and who am I at the grocery store, but who am I? And so in that way, we try to help you discover what you feel your purpose is, what you're drawn to, what your natural attributes are. Like for me, when I went to high school, I was telling on my bio entry for grad school, I've always been the person that people gravitate toward by the locker. I've always been the one that they come near when they think they have a problem or they just want to express themselves. And I said, I had to track that back to, this is who I am. I'm a listener, I'm a healer, I provide therapy. So the book kind of merges the principles of that. And as I said, there's a 5-step strategy in there that I think everybody could learn from, you know.
Mm.
So that is, feeling safe as well as the stillness. I like what Lori said, even about the grounding, that's in there as well.
Yes, yes.
And being able to understand what's around us that's available that doesn't cost money,
That's right.
it costs time. And
Yeah,
time is the commodity that we have to spend so carefully because we don't get it back.
right.
So you would want to
Right.
read my book just to get in touch with those different ideologies, as well as to say, I need to take better care of my soul, not just myself. I see myself as,
Mhm.
the the person you see, and the cognitive and the physical, but there's something inside of me that makes me special, even supernatural. It's my soul.
Yes. Yes.
And if I'm
Yes.
connected to what I feel is the greatest expression of our souls with our creator, we can change our lives. So I hope that's what the book would help you to do while you really put it on your shelf. I want you to take it down and look at it and use it and say, let me evaluate, where am I? And I also think for women of color, um, it's a matter of saying there is a lot of stress just being a woman of color. I got to own.
Mhm.
There's the microaggressions, and there's the hostile workforce, and there's the double standards, so you carry an extra backpack when you just consider it normal.
Wow.
And acknowledging that that's an extra backpack and a weight that you
Wow.
carry helps you to adjust to who you really are.
An
Like I said,
extra backpack.
where's our Wakanda? Like, from the Black
Yeah.
Panther, it's like, where can we be free in ourselves and
Yeah.
supported and lead? We have
Wow.
to lead ourselves and our sisters in community.
Mm, mm, mm. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for making me feel better about me today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you all. Lori, do you have any final thoughts before I let you go today? Do you have anything additional you'd like to share?
Yes, thank you. I would just, first of all, I want to say thank you so much. This has been an honor and a privilege, and so delightful meeting everyone and hearing what everybody has to share and what they bring to this world. So thank you for that. And yes, I'll just say that, for anyone experiencing any kind of grief, don't try to go it alone. Healing from grief is best done in a community, and with connecting with other people, connecting with a group. And there's so many resources out there that just say, don't sit home with it and sit on it and let it sit in you. Be proactive as best you can and get help. It's not only okay to ask for help, it's essential,
Mm,
and we all deserve that. So those are my parting words. Get
it
the
is.
support that you deserve.
It is essential. It is essential. It. I think they say now. Now they say it's okay to not be okay. But
Mm,
I'm going to add, it is essential to ask for help.
yes.
Mm,
And I think as women, we tend not to do that, particularly those coming from a caregiving background and putting
right.
everybody else first. And,
Right.
there might be a level of feeling unworthy, or, just it's uncomfortable because it's not what we're used to. It's maybe
Right.
not what was role modeled for us, like with my case. And
Right.
but we have to push ourselves. That's part of where the strength and the courage comes in.
Absolutely.
And we can do that. We can ask for help and get what we really need.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lori. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And I appreciate you for your openness and your transparency, even through grief. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mhm. DT, do you have any closing thoughts? Anything you'd like to address?
Well, I want to say, first of all, thanks for having me on here. This has been great. I'm definitely going to check out all the books that you guys wrote, because it definitely seems like we have a connection in that part, with the health. And my father just passed a couple months ago, so
Mm,
just
our condolences.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
I know what you're going through, But also, I want to tell people that if you want a nice, quick read, something, it's a novella, not a novel, that'll bring you up and lift your spirits up. Just go get Jesus, Take My Wheels. And I guarantee you, it'll lift you up when you have a bad day. It'll inspire you. It'll show you that life is never that bad, and that there's always another door that'll open when you think it's the end. Trust me, you'll be fine.
Absolutely. Thank you. And congratulations on your wedding anniversary. It was such a milestone. And thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate you. And Dr. Shay, you got any closing thoughts for us, dear?
Well, I guess one of the closing thoughts is some of the answers, if not most, are inside. They're not outside.
Mm-hmm.
And when we try to measure ourselves by external measures, we sell ourselves short.
Mm-hmm.
We're unique, but in order to maintain that uniqueness, we have to be with ourselves and we have to affirm ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to look for those affirming communities like grief. Some experiences are meant to be shared, and then there are some journeys we have to go on individually. I won't say alone, but individually. So I would just say honor your vessel, listen to your body, understand that there are some real external factors that stress you out, the job, all of these different things, and decide the kind of life that you want for you and your children.
That's a good one.
It may take a little time to transition, but you're worth it.
That's a good one. Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to put the three of you backstage. You're more than welcome to hang around to meet our next couple of guests. And we always try to give prospective authors a little bit of a tip, a little bit of information about publishing. So we're going to have that come up in just a few minutes. The importance of editing. We've got a little video that we like to play because these three guests, Lori and DT and Dr. Shay, they make it sound easy. Oh, I just sat down at the computer. I just wrote a novella. I just wrote a journal. I just wrote a book. They make it sound so easy, but there is some work that's got to go in there, and we've really got to learn about editing. So we're going to hear about that in just a little bit. But first, we want to bring in Sister Wilkins, and I want to welcome you to Books and Besties. Welcome to the show, dear.
Hi, Miss Angie. Thank you
Hi.
for having me.
You're welcome. Tell us where you live and what's the title of your book.
So I currently reside in New Jersey, and the title of my book is My Hands.
Oh, is that American Sign Language?
Yes, it is.
Oh, this is Deaf Awareness Month, and so I'm so excited.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yep. So tell me how you got started with that book.
Oh, yeah. So it's a long story, but just to try to shorten it, the Lord just gave me the vision. I was in prayer one day, and I heard children's book, and I was a bit, doubtful about it and unsure because I had never done anything like that. Naturally, I'm a writer. I like to journal. I like to reflect on my life. But yeah, I was really struggling with it, and I tried to, take a step out in faith, and I began to ask the Lord for guidance on okay, what is this going to be about? And I didn't necessarily receive an answer. I'm just in my studies in the Word of God, and I saw something that interested me, but then I was I don't know, I'll leave that thought there. And eventually it was confirmed what I would be writing about, and he specified the title, My Hands and Everything. So I had to go back to the drawing board, and I'm all right, Lord, what do I do from here? And it was honestly in rest where he gave me the vision for it. I was resting, sleeping, and he gave it to me, and it's been a journey since.
The Bible teaches us, be still and know that he is God.
Yeah.
And I take that literally from what you just said. You have to rest, you have to lay down and get some self-care in, and then he will present it to you. He will make himself known. And so that is a beautiful testimony, dear. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now, why ASL?
ASL. So the inside of the book actually is not ASL, but it's just this cover. But I want it to be inclusive. And the last design, the Lord had given me the vision for every single page. Well, let me hold this up. Every single page inside, but I was sort of like wrestling, like, what is it going to, look like? That was the very last thing, and just praying, and he gave me this vision, and that's actually the first thing that I've learned in sign language was, I love you. Well, Jesus loves you.
Oh,
So it's like, let me share that message with others. So
I've got to let you know, we've got some comments from viewers. Naisha Wilkins has said it's beautiful. And Alyssa Alvarez has got her prayer hands up. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Author Pamela Wilson said, "Glory to God." I tell you that's perfect. Just a perfect testimony. And author Pamela Wilson said, "That'll preach. It is in rest that God gave it to you." Oh, absolutely. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. And is this your first book?
yes, it is my first book.
Congratulations. How did you find your illustrator? That was a question that just came in. How did you find the person to do your cover?
So that was through Fiverr. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, actually, but it's just this website where they have all different kinds of, illustrators. And oh my Lord, there's a testimony in every single part of this journey. But I am a graphic designer, and I went to school for art, but I just struggled through illustrations in particular. And when the Lord had called me to do this book, I was like, okay, like, I think I'm supposed to illustrate it because I know how to do art. But then I was like, I don't want to. Like, this is not my strong suit. And I was trying, but maybe not hard enough. I'm gonna be honest. And I'm like, you know what, Lord, I just want to check out Fiverr because I've looked through the website before. Other people have told me about it, and I had a list of 4 people, and the first illustrator on the list is what we ended up going with. And the Lord just blessed her hands. Like, I didn't have any video calls with her. I didn't have any phone calls with her. It was just through text and explaining the design, and she got it down to every detail.
Wow.
The Lord blessed her. And she's from Venezuela, which is crazy. Oh, a whole different country, but same time zone. So that was like the little details. The Lord is all in it.
Praise God. Praise God. That is beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love your obedience. Sometimes we may hear from God and we still figure, oh, okay, well, I'll get around to it when I get around to it. But thank you for your obedience, dear. I appreciate you. I do. I want to update your name and your headline so that our audience can contact you. Would you prefer an email address or a website? How would you like people to contact you?
An email is fine.
Okay, tell me your email address and spell it for me.
Okay, so it's Amira, Amira, period. Wilkins, my last name, Wilkins, 3, the number 3, at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Okay, I got you up there on the screen. I don't want you to go anywhere. We got a couple of questions that are coming in, and I just want to be sure I get them all to you. So I'm going to put you backstage in just a little bit. We've got Dr. Rita Renee that's coming to the stage in just a minute. But before we do that, we've got one quick commercial from a show sponsor I'd like to bring in, and then we'll bring in Dr. Rita.
One of the things I definitely like to share is a testimony on how people and why we would be so important to have our services. I spoke with a young lady who sat on the phone while her son was being pulled over for 45 minutes, listening to her conversation. She felt so vulnerable, and she thought to herself, what could I do? Well, if her son would have had these services, instead of being on the phone with his mom, he could have been on the phone with an attorney to help that traffic stop go from 45 minutes down to probably about 5 or 10 minutes or less. Right. And then the other part of why you want to have our services is that we had a small business owner who got our plan, but he didn't get a plan to protect all his businesses. And he ended up in a $30,000 lawsuit. Had he had our services, that lawsuit would have been covered. That's why it's so important to have that. And then finally, on a personal standpoint, we had a member that actually was able to use our services when a alarm company would not honor their agreement. He decided he wanted to cancel, and instead of him just canceling and getting all his money back, they wanted to charge him 2 months of service when he never opened the box. They wanted to charge him an $800 cancellation fee, but because he had these services, the attorney wiped that all out. He didn't have to deal with any of that, and that was all covered by his plan. These are don't want to stress. You want to do like myself. I've had this service for going on 20 years, and you want that stress reliever and not feel vulnerable. Come talk to me again, Terrell Duckworth with Legal Shield. Thank you so much, and you have a blessed day.
I am grateful for Terrell, and I'm grateful for this cookie that I just put in my mouth. You have been watching Books and Besties, and this is the virtual book fair. We strive to introduce you to authors, publishers, leaders of ministries and organizations, and just some really special people. And right now I want to bring Dr. Rita Renee on the screen because you're looking fabulous in your yellow today, Dr. Rita. Absolutely fab. Take yourself off mute, but you look absolutely fabulous today. It's good to see you, girl. It's good to see you.
Thank you so much. It's so good to see you, and I'm so honored to be here on your show. You know, I love you and Miss Avalon.
And Avalon is in grandma mode today, so
I know that's okay. That's how we forgive her. I love my sister. I appreciate both of you all. And I want to just say this. You all are genuine, integral women.
No.
I love women who make connections and do not allow any other outside to influence their connections. Now, I can go on and on about that, but we're going to stay focused on the book. I want to tell you that personally, and you know why I said that. So anyway, thank you.
Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. I do. Did you see Sister Wilkins, that little baby?
I guess I was here from the beginning, and I'm not leaving till the end.
Little Sister Wilkins is just a baby, and she preaching on the show today, so I appreciate her.
I love it. The young people are coming up, and that's what we as the seasoned women, we're supposed to be teaching them, and so we're in a good position to do that, and I think that they are open to it, so we just need to pour into them, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then Dr. Shade came on here talking about unity and working together, and DT had the same concept in there. It's just it must be New Jersey. It must be something in the water in New Jersey with Lori as well. It just it's so wonderful.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Tell me about the ultimate powerhouse coach. Why are you coaching?
Well, you know, I started off not having that mentor and having that silenced voice and what that meant to me, right? Not having the ability to share the things that were going on in my life. And that coming off mute is so close to my heart because so many women, they live muted lives, whether it's by fear, by shame, by comparing themselves to someone else's journey. Sometimes when we waste our energy hating and coveting other women's stories,
right,
we kind of forget that God gave us our own story, our own unique assignment. So coming off mute means refusing to stay silent about your story or your faith, and using your voice. So because silence is not strength. It's your story and it was meant to be heard.
Yeah, that's gonna be an anthology. Coming off mute. Yeah, we we definitely have to look into that. Tell me some more about what you're excited about today.
Well, I'm excited about, first of all, the amazing collaboration that you have coming together. I do want to acknowledge the fact that even though we're all authors, we all have our paths. I love the fact that we can come together and not tear down people, not be that crab in the crab pot that's trying to pull people down because you want to have the spotlight, and have the humility that you have given each and every one of us that share that our own particular spotlight, not just together, but also individual. And then we can celebrate each other.
Yes.
So stop comparing. And that's one of the things I'm excited about. I'm excited about not comparing myself to anybody else. I did a TED Talk. My topic was very controversial. It was about DEI, but it was about moving from checking boxes to belonging and rethinking DEI, ensuring that we celebrate excellence, holding people accountable. And I'm excited that even though it may not have been received by a lot of people, and as authors, we have to realize that if you have been given, if God has given you a voice and you're feeling passionate about something, don't let the majority silence you.
Ooh, yes.
Stop comparing it. Don't let what the naysayers say about your story, because nobody can tell your story like your story. My experiences, my trials, my tribulations, all of those things are a part of my journey. And for me, my goal is to let people know, hey, we all been through trials and tribulations, but our trials and tribulations are not credentials to open doors for us. They're just testimonies. So like, because we have a trial and tribulation, that automatically gives us a seat at the table, but not necessarily. And we should be okay with that.
We can't be okay with second class. We can't be okay with leftovers. We can't be okay with that is beautiful. We can't be okay with overlooking grief. Lori was talking about grief, and I, I've dealt with some things this year where I look at corporate America and I think, how are you going to give somebody just a certain amount of time to grieve and then come back to work?
You can't. One thing we have to do, we have to put ourselves in better position so that when that corporation say you only get 5 days, we can have it already in our back pocket that we can stay longer, right? We got to set ourselves up for that as well. But I do understand grief during COVID. My father passed away in Boston and I wasn't able to see him. So he passed away in a hospital alone. And that is something that you can't really get over. You have to, pray, ask God, I pray that he know that we loved him. We were able to send messages to him, that type of thing. But yes, grief is something that we all maybe experience it differently, but we shouldn't have to experience it alone.
Ooh,
and me being as a nurse, I understand that. That's why I'm so passionate about whatever I do. I know, first of all, I'm doing it unto the Lord, but I'm also doing it from a compassionate heart. There's no strings attached to it. There is no, you give me a quick, a bono or anything for whatever I do, giving. So even today, these ladies and gentlemen have been up here giving us, right? Even out of their grief, even out of their, they may not be feeling good. Who knows what everybody is going through, but still they gave, and there's no strings attached. And I appreciate it. And I've been learning so much from each and every one of them.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm going to bring Lori and Dr. Shade back in so you can all meet each other and say hello. And
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Amazing, amazing. I'm so excited to be a part of these ladies. I'm happy to see that you all are not staying on mute. You're sharing your stories. You're helping other women or whoever is listening. And I've been helped. And that's what the power is of unmuting, being able to share our stories, and not only in a safe place, but being unapologetically about it, sharing your stories, right? And we can all have difference of opinions and see things different ways, but just the honor and respect. And we live in a great country that we have the freedom to do that, right?
Right.
And so I'm excited to have that freedom to do that with you all today.
Talk about freedom. Freedom. The ultimate powerhouse coach, the founder of Be Well Women of Color and RiseAboveGrief.com. This has been amazing. I'm just so appreciative of each of you. It just is not a mistake. It's not a mistake that you're all here on this day with your topics. I do appreciate you all. Dr. Renee, tell us a little bit about the books that you've brought to the world.
I've done several books, so over close to 14, and the last 4 I've done this year. One is called, I think every businesswoman needs to know this book right here. It is A Businesswoman Guide to Breaking Free from Toxic Relationships. And I'm telling you, every trial and situation, I wrote a book about it. This is being in a bad partnership with another woman who didn't have the heart, that was focusing more on more money instead of connection. And so that was one of the ones that I think is very beneficial for business owners, especially when you're going in partnerships. And then Sisterhood in Action. Sisterhood in Action is about anyone who is starting a nonprofit organization or a women's organization. Sometimes a lot of us will start with our book, and then hey, I can have a whole group. I have all the forms, even the legal parts that you need to do, with free access online. You can look, I got the templates for you. You just build your organization and be great. The other book is The Power Link. This is how to network. Some of us, I am an introvert, believe it or not. I'm giving y'all all I got right now. But when this is over with, I'm a woosah. But this is about making connections and not looking at people as dollar signs, because people want to know that you care before they care about anything that you know. And then the final one this year I did was The Powerhouse Unmute. And this is everyone who's in the shadows, getting them off the sidelines and on stages so they can tell their authentic story without any apologies and with all authority. And so The Powerhouse Unmute is where my journey is right now. So that I want to encourage women to tell their stories. We look at each other, right? And we say, oh, we got it all together. But we all don't got it all together.
No, we don't.
And I think the more of us that be transparent about that, it will help other women to share their story as well.
Exactly.
And so it goes through the struggles of being overlooked, being not feeling enough, not being pretty enough, not smart enough. I went through all of that. And now unmuting my voice, but also being able to share the spotlight with other women. You don't have to be the only one talking or saying anything. Push somebody else, be in the background sometimes. It's okay.
It is okay. Praise the Lord. Let me bring the baby of the group back in here. Sister Wilkins, because she got a word from the Lord for us today. So we're gonna bring.
I'm laughing because I was telling my mom, she popped in. I'm like, she's calling me baby, but I'm 25.
You're still a baby. And enjoy it.
Oh, I appreciate
She's a young, we respect you as a vibrant, intelligent, beautiful young woman that you are.
Right.
We appreciate you.
Yes, yes, yes. That's good. Thank you so much for your contribution to today's show, Amir. Can you give us some encouraging words for other 20 something year olds as to why they should write a book or how they can even get started?
Mm, wow. Just need a moment. Yeah. Wow. I I would just say to, well, first off, everything just stems from a relationship with Jesus. That is what I believe, that He's transformed my life. And over the years, I've sat on my gifts and talents that He's blessed me with. And I just encourage every young person, and even honestly, age does not matter to me. Like young to old, do what the Lord has called you to do. Step out in faith, and He will do the rest. Like He's going to do it. He's going to show up, and even if it's just one person who hears, it's still impactful. It's still going to do something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We got a couple of shout outs. Naisha Welcome said, God bless you, Sister Lori, and God bless you all, and especially Dr. Rita. So, Literary Indulgence, Bookish Delights also said, you are all amazing, and congratulations. And she's also loving the conversation. So, thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, it's just look at all the love that's coming on the show today for you guys. I am grateful. Then Literary Indulgence also said, I'm loving Dr. Rita's passion. I truly enjoyed everything you had to say. It resonated with me, and I will be getting the nonprofit book. There we go. There we go. It's so important to understand that what you are putting in today is being well received, and these seeds will be planting good harvest. Good harvest. I appreciate it. um, Lori, somebody had a question for you. um, how long should I wait after the death of a loved one? How long should I wait before I start feeling like myself again?
Well, it's a journey. And, this is one of the things I write about in my grief relief book. The journey is different for everyone. There's no right or wrong emotions, experiences, journeys. It's just so individualized. And, as I said before, it's just, you know, helping yourself in every possible way, doing all you can for yourself, and internally and externally getting the support and so on. Excuse me. And, it's just so individual. It's hard to say, but just that's why I like to say, well, as I said, I'm the easy peasy peace practitioner. And so grief is one of the things that I help people with. So I like to say piece by piece, the PIECE, piece by piece to piece, moment to piece, and day by day. And sometimes for grief, it's an hour, hour by hour. But to be gentle and compassionate and kind to yourself, and extend to yourself the grace and all the other good that you would extend to someone you love who's going through a difficulty like this. And to definitely just keep asking for help. There's no timetable, but sometimes, you might just realize, oh, I feel better today than I did yesterday, or I have more energy today than I've had in a while, and so on. So, and try the gratitude thing. It really does work, even if it's the simplest thing. And one of the things I say beyond grief is, I can remember when I was working, sometimes I was just so grateful for those green lights when I was, didn't leave for work as early as I normally would. And just look at whatever you can be grateful for. And if you want to write it down, or like I do with my grandkids, we have little pieces of colorful paper, and I have them write what they're grateful for. And then we have a gratitude jar, and anything, it's whatever works for you. And I think that's it. We play around with that and try to just have a light energy and a light spirit about that as much as possible, and see what you can do for yourself, and definitely, talk to others. And if you want to reach out to me, I'd be happy to work with you as well. So, and
Ooh.
I just wish you all the best. I know what it feels like, and but you will feel better. You will get through it, and so believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, and take care
Amen.
of yourself physically. Physically, your body's carrying this grief, so eat as healthy as possible, and get movement. Even if you don't feel like exercising, at least get movement. Take a walk, get outside, drink plenty of water. And I always say too that great hydrating isn't just straight water. It's also it can be lemon. Squeeze a fresh lemon in warm water in the morning, and that's a great detox as well.
Mm.
Caffeinated tea, the Himalayan salt, put a pinch of Himalayan salt in water. All of those ways are healthy and hydrating. And so, yeah, take care of yourself physically, and that also helps all the other stuff that you're going through. And I just wish you the best. Peace be with you.
Mm-hmm. Also with you. Amen. Amen. Dr. Shade,
Yeah.
man, be well. I'm focused on it. I'm gonna be well. I'm and I know Dr. Rita is gonna support me in that, but as long as we can learn from Amira that be still and know that he is God, he will give it to you. Yeah, it's time to be well. It really, really is. We've got more comments that are coming in, and I know that I'm keeping you ladies longer than we had expected, but we've just got audience and another question. So, Literary Indulgence says, "My heart goes out to Dr. Renee. I remember those difficult days of COVID. So sorry to hear about your father. Yes, no one should transition alone, and continued prayers. Continued prayers. I get it. I get it. Um, COVID was real, and it changed us in more ways than one. It really did. But I have to admit, I'm happy that all of you are here. Happy about it. Sister Wilkins, do you have any additional thoughts or comments that you'd like to share right about now?
Um, I would just say I'm very encouraged by all of y'all, and oh my, we need more powerhouse women in the world who are going to open their mouths and testify and share their story. Um, it all starts with the story. I like I mentioned earlier, I journal, and I share sometimes with my sisters in Christ and whoever the Lord leads me to, like these little pieces of my life. But it's just beautiful to hear y'all speak about your lives, and y'all are so open. And this is my first time on something like this, so I was like a little nervous, which is normal, but I'm just so encouraged, and I feel so I feel I don't know if that's a word. I'm encouraged. I'm just so encouraged by y'all. So thank you for having me.
Well, I want you to stay in touch with Avalon, because we definitely want to have you back on the show again. We've got just an eclectic episode today of beautiful stories and testimonies, and so we definitely don't want to lose touch with you. Please stay in touch. Stay in touch. And Dr. Rita, tell me, how can you encourage someone going through anything that they're going through as a coach?
Okay, yes. Every time that you guys, or I'm sorry to say guys, but I have a team too I work with. But every time that we open our mouth, that gives us the courage to not compare ourselves to anybody. It makes us a step closer to freedom. So, and God is not going to cause you to echo somebody else's story. He called you to testify with your own story. And always remember that comparison is a silencer, but authenticity is your microphone. So come off mute and use your voice and watch how your story sets others free. because opening our mouth sometimes not only helps us, it also helps encourage others.
That's right.
Absolutely. Open up your mouth and encourage somebody else. A very special shout out to Tyrese Wooten Outlaw. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for being here with us today. And Literary Indulgence Bookish, girl, I love you. I love you. I thank you for promoting the show today. I thank you for promoting our upcoming event, the Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar. Thank you so much for sharing. I certainly do not take it lightly that you took the time to share. I appreciate you. I really, really do. And then before we go, I definitely want you each to know that we over here at Books and Besties, we're praying for each of you. We don't think it was uh, uh, we don't think it was a coincidence that we're all here at this particular time. We we appreciate you for now being a part of our family here at the virtual book fair. We appreciate learning about your organizations, learning more about you, and your transparency. We definitely appreciate that. It's hard to do something like this and not feel connected. So I know Dr. Renee, we've been doing things off and on over the past years. It's so good to see you, and Lori, I'm looking forward to connecting with you on more than just a grief level. And
Sounds good.
Dr. Shade, we got to do some things together. We definitely do, because it's important. It real, like you said about the DE, it's very, very important. It is. And Sister Wilkins, we love you. We respect you. We're excited about your energy and your enthusiasm. We're excited about you. And so I want to have you back on the show again, because I think you can encourage younger children to write and to do things. Sometimes they don't want to look at us old folks. They, they want to look at somebody that looks more like them. So definitely have to have you back on the show again. Ladies, thank you so much. And if it's the Lord's will, we'll all be back again sometime soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I want to thank all of our guests on Books and Besties. Oh, this was such an encouraging show. I think you guys left it all on the table for us. Thank you so much. And again, if it is the Lord's will, we'll be back with another episode Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. And just please, please, if you think you've got something pulling on your heartstrings, write about it. Write about it, because you're definitely not the only one. Thanks, everybody, and be blessed.